Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar, Engaging the Next Generation of Skiers with e-commerce. My name is Lyndsay Jones, and I am a sales engineer here at Accesso. But before coming to Accesso, I was lucky to have worked at a few different ski resorts, wearing many different hats as the usual ski resort employee does. You have probably noticed this by now, but you are all muted and you will stay muted throughout the presentation. But if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat window and our moderator, Lynette, and I will answer them at the end. So just to quickly review before we get into the good stuff, I want to remind you some of our priorities here at Accesso. So we believe technology has the power to redefine your guest's experience. We are constantly trying to put ourselves into the guest shoes before anything that we do, which allows us to help you simplify your operations, improve your guest satisfaction, and drive growth for you, our clients. Also to review, Accesso has a suite of solutions that service ticketing and data management. Our solutions help solve problems and enhance the guest experience at every touch point throughout the guest journey. We prefer to let our clients focus on what they do best while we support those efforts through providing exceptional technology. So if you aren't familiar with the different solutions offered here at Accesso, let's run through them really quick. First, we have Accesso Low Queue. So Low Queue provides virtual queuing solutions to venues around the globe. So this might look like a device that holds your place in line at an amusement park, or something like our Prism Band at a ski resort, allowing your VIP guests access to the front of the lift line. Second, we have our ticketing category. So this includes Accesso Seriousware, which is a robust point of sale solution, Accesso Showware, which is our box office solution, and finally Accesso Passport, which is our e-commerce platform. Next, we have Ingresso, which is a tool that venues can use for global distribution of tickets and vouchers through channels like Groupon and Expedia. And lastly, our newest product, the Experience Engine, also known as TE2, helps marketers utilize guest data to deliver more personalized interactions and offers before, during, and after the guest experience. Together, they have become what we like to call the Accesso ecosystem. Today, we're speaking specifically to you, the ski market, though. Up until this time, ski has been tough to sell online. The ski industry has complicated and date-specific products that typically collect heavy guest data, which made selling online on one single platform challenging to say the least. Guests are hoping to purchase not only their lift tickets, but rentals, ski school, and maybe even daycare on the way up to the hill. Looking at these statistics, 481 ski areas just in the United States, 55 million skier visits last season, and almost 5 billion in snow sports retail sales, it's clear that the public is investing in ski. Enter Passport for Ski. So Passport is our online e-commerce solution that is really changing what ski can do for their guests online. Our Passport solution goes through continuous improvements and enhancements, deploying a new version every 3 weeks. And as I mentioned before, our UI designers develop from the guest perspective in order to keep it simple and easy to purchase and not leaving your guests frustrated while trying to purchase from your website. So why do we need to focus on e-commerce? Well, your guest's first expectation is a seamless mobile experience. Your guests want to find and purchase the item they're looking for as quickly and as easily as possible. It is astounding to me, but last year, Accesso Passport had 43% of our orders completed on a mobile or tablet device rather than a desktop. Clearly, mobile is our future, if not already our present. Here's a few more statistics for you. It's estimated that there will be 1.92 billion online shoppers this year. That means that 25% of the world's population is shopping online. And the millennial population is projected to spend 1.4 trillion shopping each year by 2020, with millennials making 54% of those purchases online. So let's talk about how we can help you improve your e-commerce experience using accesso Passport. First of all, accesso Passport offers 24/7 client support. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, there is always someone willing and able to help. This is a piece that really sets us apart from our competition. Your dedicated resource is there to help you manage your business, whether it's helping to build products or maybe suggesting what item might do well as a cross-sell. We have many clients across solutions and markets, and we bring that expertise to help you grow as a business. Passport is a fully hosted e-commerce solution. So we'll take this off your plate and give your IT team bandwidth to focus on other things. We also offer more ways to build revenue with key features in the solution like cross-sells and upsells. And Passport is built to be responsive. So all of those mobile shoppers have the same online experience as someone sitting at their desktop computer. We also are level 1 PCI certified, which is important to all of us. And if that's not important to you, it definitely should be in this day and age. And not listed here, but also important, we have a call center to help alleviate the guests that might be having any issues purchasing online. Sierra-at-Tahoe just completed their first ski season using accesso Passport, and Helen has this to say: working with the client services team at accesso has been amazing. It is evident that the accesso team has a vested interest in our business. She goes on to say that integrating this solution has really simplified the ticketing process, both for our visitors and our staff. Our client services team is here for you. They have weekly meetings with you where we can look at how items are performing and any adjustments that might need to be made. We are constantly monitoring how you're doing and looking for any places where we can help you to improve. From building products, customizing offerings to your guests, our call center, managing servers, we're here to help you help your guest. As I mentioned before, accesso Passport is a fully hosted solution, which ensures a reliable and secure process across the data centers worldwide. Not only does being fully hosted help us detect, but also rapidly respond to threats, performing appropriate remediation based on pre-approved actions. On top of that, we actively counteract threats using industry-leading host and network protection, threat intelligence and security analytics, log management, and vulnerability management technologies. Since this is a hosted service, it allows Passport over 99% uptime. This is a huge benefit compared to hosting locally at a venue, since a local outage of an ISP or even your power, which we all know never happens at a ski resort, causes even your online sales to stop. Accesso Passport's online store is 100% responsive. This is a huge factor in a guest experience. Responsive design means that no matter what device you're using, the system automatically responds with the correct screen size. The accesso Passport solution doesn't require that the guest download an app, for example, just to shop on their phone. The guest also doesn't receive limited offerings either, unless, of course, you would like it to. The mobile site provides the same solutions that our full desktop site offers. Our accesso Passport e-commerce clients have seen an incredible shift over the past few years from desktop to mobile sales, with numerous venues seeing more mobile sales than desktop sales. Another expected feature in today's e-commerce experience is payment options. It's amazing how many payment types are already out there in the US, let alone worldwide. We have a global payments team that works on making sure our stores are ready to support whatever comes next. Currently, PayPal is our most widely used alternate payment method, as well as our current rollout of Apple Pay. We are quickly reaching guests that may not purchase online using other payment methods, and that's just North America. Globally, we support a range of payment options and are working on countless more. Naturally, credit cards are the next option, which makes sense, but what most companies don't go into are the fraud restrictions and often false positives that go along with credit card transactions. We have a great partnership with Certify that most of our larger clients utilize, minimizing the false positives and allowing millions of dollars worth of transactions to go through that would normally be denied. And finally, we come to payment plans. Let's face it, sometimes a season pass can be pretty pricey, not to mention adding ski school, daycare, or rentals for a family. By offering a range of customizable payment plans from 3 payments to 12 payments and even a buy now, pay later option, we allow our clients to customize their products to their guest needs. Next up, how to sell more tickets and passes online. Perfect North in Indiana just finished their first season on Accesso Passport, and they found that integrating the Accesso Passport ticketing suite has opened doors to drive revenue in a whole new way. Jonathan says that these solutions have offered us a high degree of flexibility and choice while still maintaining the exceptional reliability we need to grow our business. But let's start at the basics. So why do online conversions matter, and why is this concept worth paying attention to? Well, higher rates of conversions mean increased sales for your organization, but they should also result in a positive guest experience. Guests not only want, but expect the convenience of online sales wherever they are. They want to shop 24/7 on their couch, between home and work demands, and even at the resort itself. The best part? The guest is the one doing the work. At every sale completed online is one less guest standing in line outside the ticket office. This not only provides more convenience to the guest, but also helps reduce strain and staffing on operations with those expenses. Having worked front lines at a ski resort myself, I know operations is a necessary part of the business and is critical to the guest experience on site. Every online sale that takes a guest out of the line frees up time to help go that extra mile for the guest that does come up to the ticket window, rather than speeding them through the process for the sake of the growing line behind them. We make buying more online easier for your guests, and in turn, your guests may feel that they have more money in their wallet while on site to spend at your resort. I don't know if any of you have recently made a trip to Disney World, but we took our kids not too long ago, and Disney does a great job at this. We pay for everything up front before our trip: hotel, tickets, food, and even some souvenirs. By the time we were walking down Main Street, USA, it was easy for us to forget about that initial investment, and therefore the $50 stuffed animal that we probably already have 20 of at home didn't seem like such a large investment. Giving your guests the opportunity to purchase as much as possible online potentially frees up for more spending on site. So Accesso Passport offers 3 different additional purchase opportunities to your guests through upsells, cross-sells, and cart sells. So upselling is definitely more cost-effective. It's 68% more expensive to acquire $1 from a new customer than it is to upsell current customers. Cross-sells increase order size. By offering cross-sell opportunities at checkout, we have seen an increase of sales by 3%. And cart sells offer additional items based on what is currently in the guest's shopping cart. You're buying a first-time or lesson package? Awesome. Let's just go ahead and add on that helmet rental. So taking a look at Amazon, they have attributed 35% of their revenue to cross-selling. Amazon uses upsells for additional support plans, and as you've likely seen, frequently bought with cross-sell products. Cross-sells, cart sells, and upsells work wonders and are a great strategy to increase your average revenue per cart. The online route also offers an incredible opportunity for direct marketing promotions. So with an online storefront, you can hide promotions behind promo codes to limit access to the product. So usually these are slightly discounted products. However, since promo codes nearly always get leaked by a guest somewhere online, a better targeted option is to send a specific guest a link to a product with a promo code and what we call a gift code. This is a unique code associated with a product that has a limited number of uses. That way, if it gets leaked, you can't sell any more than the limit you've already set. This strategy has been a tremendous help to several of our larger clients, allowing them to target specific guests with deeply discounted or even exclusive products. Another way to sell more tickets is utilizing our quantity-based dynamic pricing calendar. So this is created using a dynamic pricing rule. So maybe you want to offer the first 10 tickets of the day at a deeply discounted rate, while the next 50 may be at a higher amount, and so on. Now, this calendar doesn't necessarily have to be quantity-based pricing. The pricing could also just be set up ahead of time with whatever type of pricing model you follow. So maybe your lift tickets are $2 cheaper if purchased online. Maybe your Tuesday and Wednesday tickets are less expensive than your weekend tickets. Whatever model helps you to sell more tickets, we can work with you to create this calendar. So clients who've moved to our solution have typically seen a 30% increase in online volume as we help them to drive more revenue. Last year, accesso facilitated the sale of over 55 million tickets per year. And we saw this figure before, but let me remind you that we have seen an over 40% increase in online sales coming through mobile devices rather than desktop. So how can we deliver more value to your guests? Joe Myers from Holiday Valley says, selling more complicated offerings online, such as rentals and lessons, poses real challenges. The accesso team helped us transform the way we approach these products from an e-commerce perspective, and the results have been truly amazing. The ticketing software's flexibility and ease of use is unparalleled, and we're already seeing fantastic results from the launch of this new integration. Providing a one-stop shop through your e-commerce site allows your guests to plan in advance so that they can truly focus on enjoying your resort during their visit. For many guests, once they purchase their ticket to the mountain, they're done. The item is checked off their to-do list and tucked into the corner of their mind until the day of the visit arrives. But is a lift ticket really all that guest needs? Is it all that guest wants? Probably not. So if I'm headed to a ski resort, I'm not necessarily thinking about all of the different purchases that I will likely want to make once I arrive. But once I'm there, I'm spending precious energy and, more importantly, time purchasing them. Whether it's individual meals, rentals, lessons, ski school, or seeing an offer to upgrade to a season pass, if I'm not presented with the opportunity to purchase online in advance, you may miss out on my purchase altogether. And that's an important note too. Organizations often don't initially think about all of the products they can offer to a guest online in a responsive e-commerce experience. If you're not offering it, they aren't buying it. Don't be afraid to offer something new or unusual. Worst case scenario, the product is offered online and there's no interest. But at that point, at least you aren't missing out on a potential sale. Your guests want to get on the hill as fast as possible, am I right? Well, let's get any waivers you require signed ahead of time. Passport is also integrated with OneRisk, the cloud-based waiver program. Once the guest selects finalize on their order, they are taken to the OneRisk waiver to complete their transaction. If for some reason the guest chooses to skip over the waiver, their sale is still complete, but their pass will be voided for activation. A quick stop at the season pass office to sign off on their waiver then gets them on the hill. But if we can take care of that ahead of time, that's one less person in your line. Using gates at your resort, great. RFID media reloads are a breeze online. Just enter your number and you're presented with items available to reload onto your media. And if the guest doesn't have their media number handy, it's stored in their guest record for easy reload. Again, let's get your guests on the hill faster. Now, you've heard of member benefits, I'm sure, but it is shocking how few of our ski clients are actually using them. Adding a benefit to your current passes is so easy, and those benefits are immediately redeemable. Maybe you decide to offer your pass holders 2 complimentary guest tickets each season. Awesome. A benefit like that is easily redeemable online or on site. One of your main chairs goes on win hold for a large part of the day. Well, let's try and put a smile on your guest's face and offer them 10% off in the restaurant for that day only. Or maybe you want to throw in lunch in the cafeteria for an all-day private lesson. Perfect. We can add that utilizing a pass holder benefit and create a seamless experience for your guest. Pass holder benefits are easy to add on to your resort season passes at any time throughout the season, and we'd love to help you utilize this tool and create some added value for your guests. So let's go ahead and take a look at Passport in action. Okay, so we're starting here on our demo ski marketing site. So we encourage our clients to use several call to action buttons so that their guests can find where they need to go to purchase easily. I can't tell you how many times I go to a website and have to dig in order to find the option to buy a ticket. So these clear call to action buttons are key. Lift tickets, packages, and kids club. Once I click on the button, you'll see my passport store launch as an overlay. Now, this is important because we don't want your guests to think that they've been redirected to a different site. We work with you to make sure that colors, graphics, etc., match the look and feel of your marketing site. We find that using the overlay keeps the site both self-contained and easy to navigate. The passport stores are very visual, as you'll see. We want it to be clear to your guests that what they are purchasing, and more importantly, make those items easy to find. You'll see the keywords here across the top. This is a clean way to organize the products you have to offer instead of making your guests scroll through pages and pages of different items. And while you might not normally be drawn to this hamburger menu, this is key for smaller screens. It allows mobile guests to navigate the store in the same way they would on a desktop computer. We like to add in a list of FAQs in order to help your guests. So this is something that we work on with you ahead of time in order to come up with a first resource for a guest that might have any issues. So let's go ahead and purchase a ticket. You'll see on this calendar different prices based on the date we want to ski. I'm going to go ahead and select a weekday ticket. And now I have the option to purchase 1, 2, or 3-day tickets. I'm going to click on my 1-day ticket, and over on the left, we'll have any and all information that we might like to know about this item. And then over on the right, I have different rate types, if you will. I'll easily add my whole family with just a few clicks. And you'll see at the bottom, I'm already presented with a quick sell item, a cup of hot chocolate. So I'll add these to my cart, and it presents me with my first upsell options, because why would we only want to come for 1 day when we can come for 2? So I'll click on Learn More. And again, over on the left, we see all of the pertinent information about this upsell item. And on the right, you can see that it has already upgraded all of the tickets I had selected. So I can either cancel the upgrade or go ahead and accept the changes. So I'll go ahead and add these items to my cart and check out. Now you'll see some cart sell items here in my cart. These items are based on what I currently have in my shopping cart. So if I had already selected yes to the hot chocolate before, it would no longer appear here. But in this case, we're giving them one more chance to experience the goodness that is hot chocolate. I'm going to go ahead and click checkout. I'm going to choose print at home. And just bear with me really quick while I add my information. All right, a quick acceptance of our refund and exchange policies, and I will complete my purchase. And after my order is completed, I can either go ahead and print my tickets right now. I can add names to my tickets before printing, and the tickets have also been emailed to me, so I can go ahead and easily add them to my Apple Wallet for future use. So let's take a look at some other ways to sell tickets. As I mentioned before, reloading media for those of you with RFID gates is simple. I can go about this in one of two ways. So first, I can enter my number. Oops. And oops, it doesn't like my number. So let me try that one more time. Okay, and once I select continue, it's going to go ahead and load any available items for reload that correlate with my original purchase. Or I can go back to our hamburger menu here, and I can click on sign in. I will log into my account. And once I get into my profile, we're going to see a few different tabs that are going to basically be storing a lot of our different information. I'm going to click on WTP, and you can see I already have my media number here. I can click on reload, and it's going to show us the same options that we had before. So this is really handy if you just don't happen to have your media with you, you're sitting at work and you want to go ahead and reload a day ticket for whatever the weekend. Super easy to do that without having it right in front of you. So while we're in the guest profile, let's take a look around. You'll see here on the left, I have all of the members of my family and their different attributes. One thing though that I would like you to notice is that Jack Sales is not required to have an email address. He is only 7 years old, and the system recognizes that since he is under a certain age, it doesn't need to require an email address for him. We'll also see additional information for each guest that applies to lessons and rentals, as well as any other pertinent information for their guest record. So season pass, I can see what passes he has purchased and the exact expiration date. So let's take a look next at the season pass purchase process. We're going to go ahead and select an unlimited pass with pass protection. And again, I'm able to add multiple passes with just a few clicks. I'm going to go ahead and log into my profile. If I haven't already set up a profile, I can easily do so here. But just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and log in. Now, assigning a guest to each of these pass items happens in this screen here. Over on the left, I can see this is my adult item and my youth item. I'm going to go ahead and add myself. You'll notice that it only gave me the option to add accesso demo because this is the only guest in my profile that's birth dates align with the age restrictions of this pass. I have the option to upload a photo, take a photo at the resort, or go ahead and capture a photo using my webcam. I'm going to go ahead and copy info to billing, and I'm going to take my photo at the resort. Clicking continue toggles me down to the youth item. I'm going to go ahead and add Jack to that. And again, we're going to take his photo at the resort. So again, I'm presented with cart sale items based on what's in my cart, but I'm going to go ahead and check out. Now you'll notice I did not have to enter my billing information. You notice that within my guest record, I did go ahead and click to add my billing information straight from my guest record. It does ask us to go ahead and confirm our email address one more time. And I will enter my info here. And complete our sale. So now, once my sale is completed, you're going to see that I am sent to the OneRisk to complete both of our waivers, and that information will then be sent back to the database as well as your OneRisk portal. Go ahead and click out of that and relaunch our store. And just for demo purposes, I'm going to go ahead and log out of my profile. So really quickly, I'd like to show you the quantity-based dynamic pricing calendar. So right now we have it hidden behind a promo code. Once I enter my code, I'll be presented with the item and then taken to a calendar. So this is constantly querying the database, looking for what has already been sold, looking at the dynamic pricing rule attached to it, and then displaying the price based on those numbers. You could easily add more rate types over here on the left in order to add multiple family members at once. This just happens to be set up with adult tickets only at this time. Okay. So just to review, we've looked at the overall navigation of Passport, what selling a ticket might look like, a season pass, RFID reloads, and the quantity-based dynamic pricing calendar. But the last thing I want to show you, since we know that an easy experience on mobile is key, is the responsive design of Passport. So here I'm showing you just how easily it is to see the same items, whether on an iPhone or on an iPad. Your guest doesn't need to scroll down pages and pages. They can use the hamburger menu to easily find what they're looking for. And I mean, the graphics help us easily identify what we are purchasing. All right, so that concludes our live demo portion. Let's talk about something that everyone can get excited about now. The Accesso Passport 2019 roadmap. So you've obviously already seen that a few of these items have been completed. The dynamic pricing calendar, as well as RFID media reloads. And to be fair, the affiliate store is already in use by several of our Passport Seriousware clients, but it is on the roadmap because we want to have the ability to pass through the account name between Passport and Seriousware. If you aren't familiar with affiliates, it allows other distribution channels such as hotels, groups, or clubs to sell directly from your inventory, which opens up doors to several potential partnerships. Next up is age verification. So right now in Passport, age is verified based on the sale date rather than the age the guest will be at the time of visit. Now, this is vital to our ski clients, and we recognize that, which is why it is on our roadmap for this year. RFID media reloads are going to work side by side with the quantity-based dynamic pricing calendar before the next ski season. And basically what that would look like is I add in my RFID media number. I will be presented with the different items that are available for reload. I can select one of those items and then be taken to the calendar in order to see the different rates depending on what day it is, how many have been sold, and whatnot from there. And finally, we're also making improvements to snow sports bookings to allow your guests to purchase more and complete more information ahead of their visit. We are very excited about the items that are on our roadmap, and these are honestly just a few of them, but we're happy to be able to share what we are all looking forward to in the future of Accesso Passport. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and open up our Q&A. Lynette, do we have any questions that have been submitted?
Hello, Lyndsay. We do have a couple of questions, so let's start with this one. Do I need to buy something to get OneRisk?
Okay, so to start the process with OneRisk, you're going to first need to get in contact with OneRisk and get your account set up. And then once you have that up and going, you'll need to open a case with us, and we will get that process started on our side.
Great, thank you. Our next question here is, can you add pass holder benefits to anything, or is it just season passes?
Okay, cool, good question. So any item that is set up as a pass product can have a benefit assigned. So for instance, if you have like a multi-week lesson product that is set up as a create pass item, you can add benefits to it quickly and easily. Good question.
Great. Okay, our next question here is, do you have something we could use for kids programs?
Sure, yes. So for kids programs, we have an awesome camps flow that has been developed. And we actually have a demonar that has been presented by my friend Stephanie. You can go and check it out by going to accesso.com, and there's a tab titled Learn, where all of our demonars and webinars have been stored.
Wonderful. All right, we're getting a couple of other questions that are coming in now. So this person is interested in knowing for those areas that still use printed tickets, is it possible to have a self-service kiosk at the ski area where the person can scan their proof of purchase or enter their transaction number and then have the appropriate tickets print out without a cashier?
Yes, depending on how those original tickets are set up, if they're set up as vouchers or whatnot, yes, we should have a solution for you moving forward in that direction.
Great, thank you. Okay, the next question is, does Passport stay in sync with the classic release on site?
Absolutely, yes. Passport is communicating consistently with your database, and so everything will stay up to date as it would with any other type of e-commerce solution you may have previously used.
Perfect. Okay. Our next question is, does this work with groups of 20 or more members?
As far as working, it depends on exactly what you're looking for, whether we would move to something like an affiliate store, which is part of Passport. But yes, we can sell group tickets very easily on Passport, putting any sort of rules, if you will, in for those group tickets.
Okay, wonderful. All right, the next question is, from a technical end, is Passport pulling items from SysManager, or is it its own POS system, and how would that differ from eCommerce?
Sure. So Passport is essentially using the Sierra API. And so, yes, like I mentioned before, it is a live, consistent feed into your database. So yeah, just the same, definitely live.
Great. All right. Our next question is, does Passport connect to any other systems like PMSs or SPA software?
It does not. No, Passport does not do that.
Okay, thank you for confirming that. And then I think we have time for one last question before we wrap up here. So this question is, can you use multiple payment options at checkout?
Multiple payment options at checkout. So depending on what those different, whether or not you're multiple credit cards, or if you're wanting to split something between like a credit card and a gift card, it would just depend on that. Or if you were wanting to utilize both the PayPal option as well as a credit card option, it depends on what combination you're checking out with.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you, Lyndsay, and thank you to everyone for attending today's webinar, Engaging the Next Generation of Skiers with E-commerce. If we didn't have a chance to address your question, we will follow up with you individually. And if you have any other questions or would like to learn more about our accesso Passport or our accesso series for a solution, please contact sales@accesso.com. We will be sending out a link to view this recording within the next day. On behalf of accesso and Lyndsay and myself, thank you so much again for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day.